The nuclear deal with Iran is done. But what does it mean for you? Well, it could still fall apart if Congress decides to kill it. The odds are that it will end up shaping U.S. Middle East policy, and with it, bring some very cheap gas prices to American pumps. The purpose of the deal is to avoid war by limiting Iran's nuclear program to something that is small, safe, and peaceful. And obviously, to impose lots of invasive inspections to make sure Iran is keeping to its end of the deal. In exchange, Iran gets relief from some of the economic sanctions that have crippled its economy. And here is where the oil markets around the world will get influenced, Nick. I think the deal in itself is very, very important because, first of all, prevents war, which is great. Obviously, Israel is not happy about it. With it, Republicans are not happy. Some Democrats are not happy about it. But I want to talk about the energy sector implications of the deal, in specific oil. The lifting of sanctions will allow Iran to start moving up to 37 million of barrels that it's stored over the sea, and they will be able to dump this into the market. Iran, right now, where it stands, their oil fields have been shut down for a long, long time because of the sanction. It's not like you flip a switch and you can start producing oil at that capacity. But when and if Iran reaches capacity, it's one of the main producers of oil. It has the potential to be one of the main producers. So that will, in turn, bring gasoline prices and oil prices, for that matter, down.
Just one of the many, besides the obvious, stopping the nuclear bomb, one of the many benefits that come along with this. We spoke the other day on the Lip TV, yesterday to be exact. We said, another possible benefit will be that, we'll pull Iran farther away from Russia, closer to us. That could potentially help things. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of benefits here, not just for the American people. If we're going to talk about oil, what about for the Iranian people themselves? I mean, the lifting of economic sanctions, that's a huge thing. They'll find it easier to find medicine that they need or anything else. So this has huge implications across the board. So it's not only about the obvious stopping the bomb, which, if that's not enough for you, which it is, we stopped Iran from getting a bomb, we stopped from going to war to stop them to get the bomb, so what else do you need? You get all these things in turn
cheaper
also,
gas.
So it's awesome. Is it going to happen right away, though? I feel like it should take a little bit of time.
It will take, because the soonest that the world will lift these sanctions against Iran, it will be 2016, maybe up to the summer of 2016. So we'll still are maybe 12, 16 months away from really seeing the economic impact of Iran being open to business, if you will. But the reality is that European and US oil companies have been secretly in touch with the Iranian government, setting up everything for foreign investors to come and reactivate the whole oil sector in Iran, which is very, very important because immediately, like you said, it brings them to play in the same field like this group of countries, and instead of doing their business with China, with India, with Russia. Because right now they're only selling to China, India, Japan, South Korea, and Turkey. Those are the only people that are buying oil from Iran. They are prevented from producing more than 1.5 million barrels a day. So if they are allowed, and if they keep up the part of their deal and they curve down seriously, this is like we're talking about curving down 95% of their nuclear program. If that happened, the sanctions will be lifted, and then they'll be able to start selling that oil to the world.
And not to mention the morality of the Iranian people will definitely go up, knowing that, financially they might be a little better off. I mean, that makes everyone happier. And when people are oppressed, when they're sad, when they're poor, that's when you see worse relations between countries. So I think all across the board, for everything, this is an awesome deal. And it's sad to see that, certain countries, certain people in certain countries don't want to see prosperity overseas in a country like Iran. It's sad, and they don't realize that ultimately it's better for everybody, even if you're dealing with people who you don't trust necessarily. It's sad.
That sounds a lot like Israel and the Republicans.
I didn't want to name names, but
I'm going to call them out. But the reality is that the critics are saying that this is not enough, that this deters from the influence that the U.S. has in the area, because now Iran is going to grow in the influence, and this influx of money that is going into the country might be used to further destabilize the area, to fuel some of these organizations that are against the U.S. interest. But the reality is that Iran, in order to accept this, they need to get something in exchange, and that is money. And with money, they might be able to either, yes, do those things, but at the same time, they might be choosing to fix their internal problems that are many, and their people are living in very, very poor conditions, and maybe this influx of money will raise the quality of life of many, many people. Now, bringing the Republicans into the discussion, the reality is that this deal needs to be strengthened in order, first approved by the Congress. They have 60 days to approve it, but it needs to be bulletproof in case that a Republican president comes in and they want to undo everything. And they already came out and they say, I'm going to undo this right from the first day of my presidency. I'm going to undo this because I believe in war and I believe in Cold War and the threat. So that is one of the key issues that we will see, is that if the Obama administration has the power and the determination to make sure this deal goes through and the foundation is going, so in case of a Republican getting in power, that I hope not, they won't undo this. But we want to know how you feel about this situation. Let us know your thoughts and your comments down below, and please subscribe to the Lib TV.